Good evening. Welcome to the Den. I would like to thank the congregation for joining us this evening. Tonight, if you don't know, is Sunday night confessions. Now, you may not have gone to your church this morning, but you are more than welcome to confess your sins in the den. Okay? Now, before y'all get all crazy, it's not a Bible, it's just Think and Grow Rich, so y'all calm down. So, I'd like to join the congregation tonight in a little bit of thank yous, a little bit of appreciations. And I just said, hey, tonight, let's make this thing special. Let's make this confession. Let's just go all out for the confession. Now, you count your blessings, but you must release your confessions. All right. So, if you don't know, this is the Den. This is the best conversation on the internet. Can I get an amen? Can I get an A Den? And I was just thinking, hey, so many things to speak about, so many things that we must address. Right? And so, as I share my story with you this evening, I just want you to know, we talk about these confessions because we've come from places, we've come from many backgrounds. We grow as people. We grow physically, we grow mentally, and together we grow spiritually. So, I thank y'all for joining me this evening. You are a wonderful congregation. You are a wonderful group of people. And I just want to let you know, thank you. I look forward to speaking to you each and every evening. And I apologize for not being available last night. But let's get this party started. So, tonight's confessions, as preacher, pastor, deacon, Honcho, Reverend, Honcho, whatever other names you want to titlify, identify. So we open up the book of the notebook, and I turn to page 27. And I may have turned too far. And I invite you to open your notebooks along with me. Because I know y'all got some confessions. I know y'all got some things that y'all would like to share tonight. And I look forward to speaking about these things with you. Now, look, I have to give me an updated edition of the notebook. I have what you call a King Honcho version. And so your notebook might not be the same as mine. Oh, here we go. Yes, this is the updated version. All right, now, as you join me this evening, and you turn to page 23 in your notebook, the book of Jordan, the book of the goat. I'm going to read from a particular passage that is close to my heart. But before we get all the way in, we got to take care of a couple of things, but I just want you to be ready. Now, first, if you don't know, I am your host, Pastor, Preacher, Deacon, Reverend Honcho. And I thank you for joining me this evening. Okay? Now that we are here in the Den, we are here this evening. If you want to follow me on my personal social medias, you can follow me at @HonchoHTX on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you. Thank you. Can we get an A Den? Now, if you want to follow the Den on the proper socials, you can go to facebook.com/DenShowLive. You can go to Twitter and Instagram @DenShowLive. And you can feel free to follow and, show some love to the Den. And I appreciate you, all of you who do. Thank you. Now, if you ever want to contact the Den, hey, sometimes when you just got something to say and you don't know who to say it to, you know what I'm saying? You can call 833-284-3336. You feel me? And you just say 833, the number 2, the Den, and leave a message for preacher, pastor, Reverend Deacon Honcho. And I will be sure to get back with you as soon as I can. Or you can just leave an email at denshowlive@gmail. And I will try my best to get back with you. And I appreciate every one of you who do. I appreciate all of you who do. And if you ever just want to tell a friend about how they may inquire, how can I join the congregation of the Den? Well, all you got to do is tell them to go to denshowlive.com. If you want to tell them how to get there live, I mean, if they don't want to miss a meeting, tell them to go to Den Show. I'm sorry, I apologize. I stand corrected. You can tell them to go to thedenshow.com. And if you want to catch it live, tell them to go to thedenshow.com/live. All right. And tonight, if you ever want to just, you want to support the Den, you want to drop a little something in that collection plate, hey, we do it digitally. You can go to streamlabs.com/thedenshow. And I will more than appreciate whatever you choose to donate. Streamlabs.com/thedenshow. Can I say it one more time? Can I get an 8 then? And hey, some of y'all want to support and show love on a monthly basis. You can go to patreon.com/thedenshow. Okay? And I thank you all for the support. Shout out to Stina Starry-Eyed, and I appreciate the love. So, as we go through this evening, and as I say, open up your notebooks to page 23, the Book of Jordan. And tonight I'm going to share with you a personal passage. I don't have a personal package, but I have a personal passage that I would love to share with you this evening. And as I say, we confess our sins. We talk about things that we've done because we are no longer the people we once were. Every day we grow. Every day we strive to improve. We strive to get better. Every day we strive to be better than who we were. We want to get better by the minute, by the second, by the hour, by the day. If you open up your notebook, like I said, to the Book of Jordan, page 23, we're going to go to paragraph 3 and verse 4. Now, this is a story that was told to man. Okay? This is a story of a man named Honcho. Now, Honcho wasn't always one of the wisest men. Okay? Now, he was not an apostle. He was not a wise man. He was not a chosen man. Honcho was a wild man. Okay? Now, Honcho went to a place of higher learning. Some of you may call it the University of Houston. Okay. When I was a young man, or when Honcho was a young man, I apologize. Sometimes I just relate to the story so much that I feel like it's about me. When Honcho was a young man, Honcho was a wild man. Honcho was what some of you people may identify as a freak with the shits, couldn't keep the big head straight because the little head was always in the way. So, Honcho was in his room, minding his business, on the internet, working on some things, and he was just doing some research for a class, and there were other men in this same dormitory, as some of you may identify, right? Good friends of Honcho. Men with like minds like Honcho, right? And Honcho's working, minding his own business. Now it's in the early evening, Honcho hears a knock at the door. Honcho, well, who is knocking on my door at this hour? Who would come to spread a message at this time? I would think that everyone is asleep, resting, out and about. Honcho opens the door, and it's a good friend of Honcho's. And he says a particular message that meant a lot between these two gentlemen and a particular crew at this certain place of higher learning. And this phrase was, "What you mean?" Now, what you mean can mean so many things. What are you doing? What you got going on? Is you with it? Or what are you saying? Hey, I'm not even tripping. So Honcho replied, "Well, what you mean?" This wise friend of Honcho's says, "It's going down in the room." Honcho says, "Well, give me just a minute. I'll be there to see what's going on." So Honcho cuts off the computer, cuts it down, goes and he freshens up. So he crosses the hall And once he steps into the room, lo and behold, he sees a sight. A sight in the wild of night. Now, some of you may have heard a song, if you look in your song books, called The Freaks Come Out at Night. All right, can I get an 8 then? Well, this particular night, the freaks had came out. Now, it was dark, and as Honcho looks in the room, he sees a couple of familiar faces. But then he sees a couple of new faces in particular. Young ladies. Some may say they have fallen. Some may say they are ladies of the night. Some may say they just some motherfucking freaks. Honcho looks around and it's a party. They are throwing a party on the pussy. And I could not believe, or he could not believe what he saw. So I looked to my left. It's going down. Honcho looked to his left. I apologize. Like I said, the story just gets so close to my heart that it almost feels like I'm in this story. So Honcho looks to his left, Honcho looks to his right, and lo and behold, what a sight. The freaks was with the shits. Okay? So, no real introductions needed. Now I would say it was 3 or 4 friends of the Honcho. It was a few ladies. And it was already going down by the time I got in on the scene. So Honcho said, well, shit. You know, I can see that these are some wild childs. You got anything besides some lifestyles? Fortunately, the young friend of Honcho's had the right protection for the direction. So as Honcho took the contraceptive, I got prepared, or Honcho got prepared. Again, I'll tell you, the story's just so close to my heart. Can I get an 8 then? Honcho began to disrobe. Now, the moral of this story is not about it's wrong to fuck with the freaks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, if that's what you do what you do. But you never ever know when it's really gonna go down. Make sure that you always got the proper attire for the occasion. Now listen, when Honcho began to disrobe, moved the shirt. Back then, Honcho was in pretty good shape, you know, being a member of the local sports team. You know, it was cool. As Honcho disrobed out of his basketball shorts, the room came to a grinding halt. Everybody stopped and looked at Honcho. Puzzled with a what the fuck look face on their face. Honcho was like, uh-oh, what has happened? I hope, look like I know I freshened up before I came through. I hope this ain't a hole in the drawers. I mean, I'm coming up out of them anyway, what does it matter? But no, what happened? Honcho had a particular pair of undergarments on. Back then, Honcho was a fan of a particular show that came on television called SpongeBob SquarePants. Honcho owned a few of SpongeBob's merchandise and attire. So when Honcho came out to disrobe, he's standing here, not fully naked, but in a pair of SpongeBob boxer drawers. We all laughed. They all laughed. We all chuckled. But fuck them draws. They all got back to business. So all I'm saying is, hey, Jack, sometimes you got to be properly prepared for your player ways. But them hoes with the shit, they wasn't tripping. Because it wasn't about what was on the outside of the draws. It was about what was on the inside. And that's all they gave a damn about. And with that being said, Let's get these motherfucking confessions started. So I thank you, congregation, for listening to a story about a man named Honcho who walked into a occasion of a freak situation wearing a pair of SpongeBob boxer drawers. Now, hey, look, man, so don't ever feel embarrassed, and if they talk a little shit, you make sure you lay the pound game down. They'll forget all about the draws. Matter of fact, they'll hit you back on their free time. Anyway, with that being said, I'm glad y'all could join me this evening. Can I get an A then? Thank you, Bill. And I know some of y'all, like I say, some of y'all are just now getting in here and y'all like, oh, Honcho is being blasphemous. Again, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, this is, hey, this is a very, very important book that you must put in your repertoire. So I'm going to open up the lines for you fine people. And hey, don't be afraid to hit that collection plate. Streamlabs.com/The Den Show. And I'm opening up the line for you fine people, and I want to know what's on your mind tonight. I would love to hear some good confessions so we can send you your blessings. And I saw someone mention it earlier. Yes, Party City. They hold it down. So as we open up the den line, and I apologize. Oh, congregation, I apologize. Before any of you call tonight, I forgot something. I apologize. Let me address the congregation properly. Mark, Sweetberry, Baker Man, TR, V Darko, Jared Key, Keisha, what's the motherfucking deal? Coltrane, Miss Thang, Mark. Let's see. Wise, D Love, Beyond the Funny Nigga, Jamal Roberts, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. El Guapo, what's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth Cologne, what's the motherfucking deal? McVice, Bell, what's the motherfucking deal? Zanny Rich, always good to see you, my brother. Footballer, 503, what's the motherfucking deal? Eric Veal, hey, I had to step out the box one time. I just had to step out the box one time. One time for your mind. Let me make sure if I missed you, I ain't dish you. I just want to make sure everybody, H-Train, what's the motherfucking deal? Kahao MC, what's the motherfucking deal? Giant Mess, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see if I've got Miss Bell. If I don't know if I did. If not, hey, 2 shout outs. Ain't nothing wrong with 2 shout outs. Let's see. Already. I think we are already. James Harden, what's the motherfucking deal? All right. So let's talk about it. You say a Venmo. Hey, bro, I think I might have one. Let me see what we got. Do I got a Venmo? I think I got one, bro. 335. It's all the way live. Yes, actually, the Venmo is at Ed Honcho. So if Venmo is your way, Ed Honcho is the play. So let's talk about it. Caitlin K, what's the motherfucking deal? Derek Key, that's your bro? Well, you got a good brother right there. Got a very good brother right there. All right, here, I got you. Let me drop that. I got that for you. So now, let us. I do, but it's dirty, so I ain't gonna use it. Oh, hold on, you ain't lying. Hold on, we gonna get it fired up. Let's wait till we get some of these calls in. Let us wait till we get some calls in. Don't catch the Holy Ghost and start falling. But anyway, let me see. That's the sauce line, and now we on the den line. Now let me open this up, and now let me get my proper preacher paper properly prepared. All right, there we go. How are y'all doing this evening? Like I say, hey, it's time for confession. Like you may have not made it. You may not have made it to church this morning, today, but you can always confess your sins in the den. So, who will be first to disperse their sins? Let's get some of these calls. Now, don't y'all be scared. Now, I know you ain't scared. Can't be scared. Don't be scared. Let's see. And we're gonna have a secondary topic because sometimes on the we have to talk about some additional things as we wait on some of the calls. Sometimes folks act like they're afraid to let go. Okay, and I got notebooks all over the place. It's just so much going on in the world today. Interesting. So somebody called in the other day, and I think this is a good topic, right? And I think this is a very good topic. Someone called in the other day and they said, hey man, what happened to the love songs, right? What happened to the love? What happened to the romance? So tonight, when you call in with your confessions, I want y'all to talk about a little bit of romance. I want to talk about bringing romance back to the world. What is the most romantic thing that you may have ever done? Or ladies, the most romantic thing that has ever been done for you? Make sure you speak on it when you call through. Can I get an amen? So yes, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And that's the only thing that there's just too little of. All right. So let's see who's gonna be first. So here's the deal. All right. So let's talk about some things. It's pastor, preacher, reverend, deacon, Father Honcho. And we got a lot of things going on in this world. Vici online. What's the motherfucking deal? Oh, I forgot to pick the love. I gotta write my own name down. Let's see, we got bishop, pastor, preacher, father, deacon, reverend, Honcho. There we go. I think that works. Bishop, pastor, preacher, father, deacon, reverend, Honcho. There we go. Hey, it's only daddy when I'm not in the proper clothing, if you understand what I'm talking about. But hey, we ain't gonna get on that right now, Miss Thing. We ain't gonna talk about that thing. I gave you power, Professor Trio. What's the motherfucking deal? I hope y'all doing good this evening. So, let's talk about these things. Love. What happened to love? Where did it go? What happened to romance? I do not know. Hurrah, what's the motherfucking deal? Back in the day, you used to put your love on display. You sent it your lady's way. But nowadays, it's sliding in the DMs, late night in the PMs, niggas asking if you'll come see him. I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know what happened to courting. I don't know what happened to love. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love. Brother 335. Exactly. Pass the collection plate. Pass the peas like we used to do. Shout out to Brother 335 and your donation. Placing your donation in the collection plate. So, you're told if you want to keep a man, you should call him daddy. Now, I don't know. I don't know about daddy, but Jay Dizzle got the caddy. So, all I'm saying is this. I appreciate you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate you all for joining me each and every night. Like I said, I just wanted to do something special for the confessions this evening. I welcome you all to the house of the den, where you may feel free to confess your sin. All you got to do is call a number on the screen, and your call will be seen. So here's what I say to you, Miss Keisha. Only call that man daddy if he's putting it down. Don't lie to that man and make it. And that's another thing we definitely need to talk about. Because I don't know if that's a thing about daddy issues. I don't know if that's a thing about authority. I don't know if that's about some weird shit on the man's half. All I know is if he ain't putting it to you right, don't call him daddy in the middle of the night. Okay? Hey now, if you want to open his wallet and whatever he likes, you gotta call it. All right, now that's all I'm gonna say. Hey now, can I get an aid then? Hey, not only am I bishop, pastor, preacher, father, deacon, reverend, honcho, host karate classes on Friday night. If you're looking for a little self-defense, hey, get yourself. All I'm saying is, ladies, don't be playing. If he's a 2-pump chump, don't fake the funk. If he ain't giving it to you like you need it, tell him that you have conceded. No longer are you interested. You got to find somebody you can call. You need you a Jody. He'll do you right. I don't know how many of y'all have ever heard of an old brother named Marvin Cease. And I do believe it's Marvin Cease. I don't want to attribute this to the wrong man, but I believe Marvin Cease said he was the candy liquor. Now all candy ain't meant to be lit. Some of that shit is gum. You might have to chew it. It might be a little rough. It might be a little tough. Might have been, might have been through some things. You might have to gnaw down on it like it's an opponent. That's all I'm gonna say. But again, hey, if you want to get there quicker, you gotta get you a candy liquor. Now, hey, no matter where it starts, no matter where it ends, all friends are welcome in the den. Hey, we're going to speak our mind and it'll all be fine. Whatever you think, whatever your thoughts may be, hey, you're welcome and free. So, here is the deal. I don't think D-Love, you're going to ever have to worry about your parents coming to dinner. They're going to probably say, who is this nigga? We out. But Marvin Cease was a reverend. Well, see, that's not to say brother Cease. Hey, Miss Yolanda, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you. Sister Yolanda, I'm glad to see you, that you could join the congregation this evening. Yes, I would say, I guess the chat would be the choir or the congregation or, whatever situation. However y'all like to be identified. Y'all are welcome to address it as you see fit. So, we're talking about love. What constitutes love? What constitutes love? What is love really? I really feel like in this day and age that people don't know what love is. Okay? J Mel, what's the motherfucking deal? Brother J Mel has joined us this evening. What's the motherfucking deal? Now, I feel like people don't know what love is. I feel like it starts in your household. Parents, show love to your children. So that way, when your children become adults, when your children become of age, they understand how they must be treated. Okay? They must understand the proper way to be supported. And I agree, love is the most abundant resource on the planet, but we just don't use it. We abuse it. Why? Why do we do that? Now, all I got to say is, hey, man, I wake up and I have love for the world. I have love for everybody. I don't hate anyone. Hate is not in my heart. I may disagree. I may have criticisms. I may not like what it is that you do. I may not necessarily like everybody, but I wish well for them. I want the world for them. Every dream that they may have, every dream that they choose to seek out and want to acquire, I hope they get every desire. So I wake up, I used to be a hateful man. I used to be an angry man. I used to hate everything I saw. I used to hate everything I felt. I used to just be angry. I used to just be mad. And then when I realized, hey, it's all about love, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. you know. Yeah, I might not be going fast enough for Brother Prepaid, but I should have had my handkerchief ready. I didn't even think about it. But the thing is this, okay? The thing that you must understand, you must have love for your fellow man. It's a lot of people out there that I don't care for. But when I wake up and I get up in the morning and I'm thankful for the day, I'm thankful to see another day, I wish well upon these people. I wish happiness for everyone. Now, will that always happen? Sometimes there are things that are outside of your control that you can't stop, right? There are certain things that are out of your control that you can't fix. But what you must do is everything that you can control, everything that you can grab a hold of and steer in the right direction, you must. There's a saying that goes, if you can, you must. And some people say, you know, well, certain folks do what they can, certain people do what they want. And this is true. This is true. But you must do everything that you can. And if you do everything that you can, pretty soon you'll be able to do everything that you want. But a lot of people are not. A lot of people are not doing everything that they can. Let me see. I thought I might have had a spare around here. But I guess I do not. Usually I keep an extra. Like I said, I've forgotten that it's getting to that time of year. There we go. And it's getting to that time of year. And so it's here. Now here's the deal. Love, what do they say? I don't know all the quotes from the Bible. Say love is not jealous, you know. Say, preacher, pastor, not letting one. Oh, they better not. Oh, I'll send them to a better spot. Can I get an 8 then? So here's the deal. And I do believe, and this is why I say parents, you must love your children. This is why I say parents, you must, people, even if you have no children, you must show love to the people you meet, even if they're not the most functional people, even if they're not the best people. Because love is an energy. When you share that love, even though it may not immediately be reciprocated, it gets passed along. You know, and that is important. And I think if more people shared love, shared good tidings, good spirit, if people acted all year long the way they act when it comes Christmas time, the world would be a better place. Let me see. I think, hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on, I think I might, we might have to substitute and make it do what it do. Hold on, we might have something here that may work. Let me look, make sure everything is copacetic. And we'll do it like so. We'll make it look like so. Okay, I thought I was on. I said, what the fuck is going on here, buddy? All right. I think we good. I think we all good in the hood. All right. Yeah. Let me just, you know, we got a lot going on in the world today. But then Christmas wouldn't be special. Hey, all I'm saying is, so you got to look at it like this. Would you just want one time a year to be special? Or would you want your entire life, 24 hours a day, 365 to be special? Why is it that we can only show love and appreciation for our fellow man when the holidays come around? Thanksgiving. Why are we only thankful at Thanksgiving? I don't even believe we're thankful at Thanksgiving anymore. You know? Thank you, Brother 335, for passing around the collection plate. You know? Why is it? Don't you think that life would be much better if we spread love? And I know a lot of us are unhappy with our lives, unhappy with ourselves, and we take that and we project that upon others. You know, it's unnecessary. Show love year round. Show love 365 days a year. You know. Well, D Love, brother D Love, call in and get the party started. You know, if nobody else is gonna confess, you know, hey, well, the den line would love to be blessed by whatever it is that you got on your mind. You know. So, you know, we may take a reading from the book of D Love. But all I have to say is that where there's a will, there's a way. Unless you're the Rockets trying to make a play. But this is what you guys got to understand, man. I want the best for you. You know, I may not know you personally. I may not have met you individually. And I know it sounds funny to say in this way because you come in, you participate, you support what I do. And for that, I thank you. For that, I have love for you. Now, I know you say, well, if you ain't know me, then would you have love to show me? Well, I do, even though I don't know your personal situation. But I feel like from the nightly encounters that we have in the house of the den, that I've gotten to know some of you almost like we've known each other for a very long time. And so those of you, I have a special appreciation for. I have a special place in my heart for. You know, again, because I believe love is important. Old Honcho might have said, fuck y'all. God damn it. But, like I say, as I grow, and I try to grow daily, you know, I try to improve daily. And I see where love gets you as opposed to where hate will place you. Okay? Now don't be sad, because I wasn't talking about you, James, or everybody else but you. So my thing is, I want y'all to win. You understand me? Understand me. You know, the thing is, I want little thing. Hold on, thing. Look, this been waving. Hold on, let me fix my little dilly there. I was wondering, I'm like, should this shit leaning to the left, leaning to the right? Okay, now we go. Let's get some balance. There we go. Now we're good. Now, that's what I say. Look, we're not gonna use the Lord's name in vain. This is, like I say, this is the house of the den, and we get an A den, and the congregation is appropriate for this situation. Now, as I say, you know, I want y'all to have the best life. I'm honest when I say I wake up wanting the best for the world. Because when the world, or when you as an individual are in a good place, like I said, it gets spread. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it, Alex. All right, we have a call coming in to the house of the den. Let's see who we have calling in to share with us this evening. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hello, it's V Darko.
Oh, Sister Darko, how are you doing this evening?
I'm fine. Pastor, Deacon, Rabbi, whatever names else you come up with tonight. Um,
Oh, yes.
I just wanted to first give a shout out to Jay Mill for his birthday.
Oh.
He wasn't in the chat yesterday, but
Oh, his birthday was yesterday?
uh,
Well, happy birthday, brother J. Mill. I apologize for missing that. We're glad you could join us this evening. Happy belated. Shout out to Sister Darko for mentioning that.
yeah, and then as far as the love situation is concerned, hold on a minute.
Okay. They
Yes,
put the love on hold.
what? What? Huh? Why? Do you want to come chat?
Is that Brother
You
Darko?
might learn. You might learn something. We're talking about love tonight. So, what does what does love mean to you? Well, I was gonna tell him how I knew I was in love with you. But now I ain't gonna tell him that at all, 'cause you done got on my nerves.
Oh,
Now shut the door.
that's the way love goes.
What's up, Pastor?
Hello, hello. How you doing this evening?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You talking to
So,
my wife?
yes, yes, Brother Daco. So, see, we were talking on the topic of love this evening. What are your thoughts on love, and where has love gone in the world today?
Love just comes from the heart. That's all I know.
Okay, okay. So, when you met Sister Darko, how did you know that you were in love?
How?
Yes,
Well, I didn't know. It was just her actions. You know those little simple things you do
yes,
for somebody.
yes.
Because I remember she bought me an $80 printer because I was in school and I needed a printer.
Hmm.
I said, "Oh, she thinks about me." That's
Okay.
all.
Well, he always says it wasn't my beauty, it was my booty. That's what he says.
Oh, well, that's the case. Hey, I ain't gonna say too much, but
That's true.
but that
That's
is that
true.
I do think that that's a good thing. You know, when somebody is willing to, that shows that somebody is thinking about you, not thinking about what you can provide for them, but when someone is realizing your situation, they realize what you're trying to do and accomplish, and they're willing to put you first. I think that is a very good sign.
And that's what I was going to say is that I hadn't been in a situation before where I even really thought about what the other person needed or anything like that. I was always in the position of what they going to give me. But when I met him, it was kind of different. Like he said, he was in school and I saw a need there where he was going different places wanting to print stuff out. And I was like, you know what, let me just buy him a printer, just something small to enhance his life, or help him out a little bit. So I just think that when you are in love and you starting to fall in love, then you start thinking about what that other person's needs are, and and y'all work to start building a life together.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that, that's a sign of that, when people are that person is on your mind. That's a sign that that you're thinking about that person. And I think that, what is it? Like I said, I'm not, even though I may be a pastor, preacher, what is it? A bishop, pastor, preacher, father, deacon, reverend, and now rabbi, Honcho. I'm not the most adept in the Bible, but I do remember it saying some things, that love is not jealous, love is not selfish, and some of these other things. And I think that's a sign of it right there, that you could have kept your money for yourself to get it for something you wanted, but you saw that this would have a significant impact on this man's life, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, so that's my take on as far as how love changed. It's like because I think women wanted to be more in control instead of allowing the men lead. Because when I was growing up, it's like you didn't ask men to take you out first. You kind of waited around and let them take the lead. And a lot of times these days, women are very, very aggressive. So to me, you're being aggressive. You're acting more manly, which can sometimes put the man off. Some men like that, but a lot of men like to feel like they're in control, like they're leading. So um, and then the music change. It's like before women were queens and princesses and you know all that wonderful stuff in song. And I can't remember what year it changed, but maybe towards the end of the 90s, started being called shorty and all other kind of names. And women didn't protest it too much. We just went along with it. So their therefore there was a downward spiral from there.
Okay, okay. I can agree with that. I can agree. That's a very, very interesting thing that the women didn't protest it. Do you think that if women would have said, hey, and you hear from time to time, hey, don't call me bitch, don't call me this and don't call me that. Some women do, but now it seems like when it's in the music, it just slides through and it gets indoctrinated. And when you talked also about women being more aggressive, yes, women from Dallas are very aggressive. That's another story for another time to play. That's another confession. But
Yeah.
um,
But just as an example, even within the chat itself with the den, there's a lot of y'all that use the B word all the time, and although it's not uh, directly at any particular individual, except the time I was called a bitch, that was direct. I won't forget that, by the way. But I just had a slap.
oh,
But we don't protest to that. It's like when y'all call people bees or hoes or whatever. I don't see any women in the chat really saying it because we've been desensitized to it. It's like the norm. It's it would be more abnormal if you were talking properly and saying, uh, she's a queen or something like that, because it's just very abnormal for men to speak like that.
okay. You know what I find, because I do see a segment of the internet where people do refer to people's queen, but I think even this term has gotten, I think queen has gotten the meaning has changed, because I see other women call other women queen, but in the manner in which it'll be someone shaking their ass or be half naked, doing this and doing that, and I don't think that's necessarily queen-like behavior. So I can agree with you that the terms have changed, but then even the usage into to what you would call a queen, which would be more likely a woman who carries herself in an upstanding manner. Now, it's women calling each other queen, and they doing all kind of inappropriate, I guess you would say, unqueen-like activity. And so I definitely agree with you. The usage, the vernacular has definitely got corrupted. So it's not quite the same.
All right. Well, I just want to put my 2 cents in because it's going to be an early night for me. So I'll go back in the chat and listen for a few.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad you would call in and speak on the topic, and send our appreciation to Brother Darko also. And we thank y'all for sharing it with us. So hopefully some of you young bucks, some of you young folks picked up some game from that.
Right. Yeah, he be over there trying to act like he tough, but he would just ear hustling. I told you he would get on the phone eventually. He's a real easygoing type person. He just be trying to be funny. But anyway, he didn't took his ass to bed. So
All right.
all right, good night.
Good night, Ms. Darko. Thank you for the call.
All right, bye.
All right. Shout out to Ms. V. Darko. Shout out to Brother Darko for blessing us with some game this evening. And again, I'm going to tell you something, fellas. I tell y'all a couple of things. And when I say a couple of things is, I tell you, hey, man, look, if they're out there wilding and doing what they're doing and you want to participate, if that's your mind frame, do what you do. I'm not telling you got to be on the up and up. But when you decide it's time to settle down and you're looking for something right, then you have to make sure that you treat her right. And you got to learn how and know how to do so. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the house of the den this evening?
It's your boy Roman.
Hello, Roman. How are you doing this evening, Brother Roman?
Oh my God, I'm doing great, Father Honcho. I'm doing great.
All right, thank
Amen.
you, thank you. What would you like
I'm
to
doing
discuss
great.
with this evening?
To be honest with you, man, I haven't got no confession, man. I just clicked. I was doing something else. I clicked on the goddamn thing, and I seen you in this damn outfit, bro. I said, "What the hell is you doing?"
Yes. I have to. It's the
But
night of
I mean,
confessions. I had to be appropriately. I had to put on appropriate attire for the evening.
yeah. I understand. But I ain't gonna take long because I know other people will say confessions. I ain't got one so much. I'm gonna say this before I go, man. Hey, when it comes to confession, man, there's nothing to be afraid about, bro. Just say how you feel, man. It's like once you know something, man, it's never you. 'Cause, as I'm a Christian, I mean, there's always two people that know something you did something, you and God. So I mean, hey, if something happens, man, just say it, bro. I mean, people don't like people don't forgive you. Hey, just know if God forgive you, you good. So that's my call, man. I ain't gonna take long.
All right, Brother Roman, I appreciate the call.
All right, good night, Honcho. Oh, my father, Honcho.
Well, I appreciate it. Good evening.
All right.
Shout out to Brother Roman for sharing that nugget of wisdom with us this evening. Hey, you know. And now, what he said is true, and what he said might be a little true, depending on what you did was in public. Didn't everybody know about you? Or it's on tape, and it might be on X videos or Pornhub or whatever, any of those other naughty websites that you shouldn't be ever looking at unless you're doing research. You know, and here's my thing. Behave cheaply will be treated cheaply. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Brother Yeri, how are you doing this evening? I'm glad you could join us in the den tonight. Again, my thing is this. Say you follow a girl on Twitter who called every guy king and devalue the term when she tweeted that to me. Yeah, again, you know, sometimes some people, there are people who address each other this way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't call someone king or queen and then you address them in the same manner when they're doing, you know, despicable behavior. I've seen people who call a chick who she may be twerking in her drawers in a room or whatever else it may be. Yes, queen, get it. Go get it, queen. You know, somebody securing a bag for divorce or whatever else it may be, or some Instagram, whatever. You know, it could be queen. Like I don't think that's the proper terms. Now, Ms. Darko brought up a very good point. We use it here freely. But now, I would never refer to these lovely ladies. We have so many lovely ladies in the den, you know. But I do have a certain phrase. Let me turn to the notebook of Honcho, page 64, and that is paragraph 3, verse 2. And Honcho went forth and said, I love ladies. I like hoes. I hate bitches. And so my thing is, I believe that there are different categories. I talk about this with all individuals, right? With all types of people. With, you want to use it as a racial aspect. I think that there are, you know, every race, every culture has a derogatory term. You know, you have people, and then you have people who make that race look bad, or that's the derogatory version. So I think that it's very important to separate. Even though I have a tough time, I'll be calling everybody niggas. I'm working on it. Can ladies learn anything other than twerking? Shit's getting old. Look at 90s girls dance sexy as fucking no twerk. Go watch Soul Train from the 90s. I watched some the other day. Watched some Soul Train lines from the 90s. And it was like a breath of fresh air. Saw things and saw moves I hadn't seen in years, decades, if you will. Now it's all about ass. And the thing about twerking is it's been around for forever. Just a woman with no ass brought it to the forefront. A little chicken ass. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the house of the den this evening?
It's Edmund.
Brother Edmund, how you doing this evening, Brother Edmund? What would you like to share with us in the house of the den tonight?
Yes, Pastor Honcho. I came to you because I have a confession to make.
All right. Okay, the confession booth is ready. What confession would you like to make this evening, Brother Edmund?
My confession is that my confession is that I don't have a confession right now because I forgot it. Give me a second. Hold on.
This is terrible. This is terrible. This is the worst confession I've ever heard.
No, okay, I remember. My bad. Um, my confession is that I relapsed and I got back to drinking again.
Well, I didn't know you had stopped, but that's unfortunate. So, how long did you go without drinking before you relapsed?
So I told my friends that I was gonna stop drinking, like I was gonna start being sober, and then I told them that 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
I told them like, I hate these hangovers, I hate these migraines. Like I'm done with this whole party shit, you know,
Mhm.
going to these clubs and getting fucked up for no reason. But the persuasion of that female aroma, kind of the temptation is too much, and you just have to go. And so that's what I did yesterday. I was I was gonna head home after the banquet, and then some guys were like, "Hey, let's go to the bar, like, let's have a good time." And I'm like, I'm not sure, my knee's kind of messed up right now. I just want to go on home and rest. And they're like, "Man, bro, I saw you talking to that chick, she's gonna be there too. I mean, let's just go, it's the end of the semester. It's just a one-time thing. After that, you can just, chill out for a bit." And then I'm like, I don't know, but you're like, "Man, bro, you don't know. Like, this is your perfect chance, to get that, to get that action." And I'm like, all right, man, I guess. And so that's what happened.
Hmm.
I went to the bar, and next thing I know, like, it was like GTA 5, driving all blurry and shit, driving back home. But thankfully, I didn't.
Brother Edman, I have a question for you, Brother Edman. What are your goals in life, Brother Edman?
Well, if, I would say my long-term goals would be to, have a stable job, uh, have a nice family. I don't have any grandiose goals, I guess, but just to have stability. That's the best thing that you can ask for. I'm not asking for luxurious cars or, bands or whatnot. I just want stability
All right. Well,
and somewhere nice to live.
stability can be dismantled quite quickly. All it takes is one DUI, DWI, anything like that. You got to pre-think some of these decisions. Now, I know some people, they're like, 2 weeks, it's only 2 weeks. It's not about the 2 weeks. It's not about the time frame itself. It's about all the opportunities or all the situations you avoid in that frame of 2 weeks or whatever else it may be. You have to know when to say no. Because, man, I think you're a weirdo, but I think you're an all right weirdo. And, me, the congregation would hate for anything bad to happen to you. You're still a young man. I don't know if you're in the prime of life. Your prime may have passed. I'm not sure yet. But you have so many opportunities ahead of you. You have to make some decisions. Because, like I said, it only takes one time. It only takes one incident to, again, upheave everything that you have going for you. And is it worth it? Is it really worth it to go out and have a couple of drinks, like you said, to have a hangover, to wake up on some random dude's bed smelling like vomit and stuff like that? Is it worth it? I mean, you have to go back and you have to think about all the times that you've gotten drunk, gotten wasted, and the outcome of that evening. The pros and cons. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Usually not. And I'm going to assume in your situation that they do not. You just end up wasted, fucked up, disoriented, and, kind of worse off for the wear. And then you put yourself in a lot of situations that could end up very sketchy. You don't have physical control, you don't have mental control, and you're putting other people in risk by driving along the roads, even if it's just a mile, half a block, whatever else it may be. I've seen people go out of their driveway and immediately get into a wreck, being fucking drunk, wasted. So all I'm telling you, brother Ed, man, is this. All right, you have to make the right decision. I think you're a smart guy, but you have to make the right decision. And you may have people who don't understand. You're going to have people who are going to encourage you to do something you may not want to do, but you have to weigh it out. You have to make a decision about where you want to be in life, because again, that stable family, that stable job, and all those things could be ruined before you ever get there. From just an evening and going out one evening and partying it up. That's just something you want to think about. Now, I'm not telling you not to party, but I'm telling you to be conscious of the decisions that you make and the outcomes that could happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Did you go to Coachella?
No, because I didn't want to get sucked up by a gay guy. So.
Whoa. All right, well, don't do that. Just curious, you got to be careful. Things going around these days, just take care of yourself. But anything else that you would like to add to your confession or your reasoning behind not drinking, or anything else besides that?
No, I just so what are the offerings I can bring to you right now for?
Oh, I mean, if you want to hit the collection plate, you can always hit the collection plate. Outside of that, we don't take tithes. We don't do any of those things. But if you want to hit the collection plate, streamlabs.com/The Den Show. For any of those of you in the congregation who would like to hit the collection plate, feel free. Appreciate brother 335. But I mean, that is all. That is all.
Okay. Cool. I'll make my offering soon. And one last quick question.
Okay. What do you got?
Is wait, never mind. I was gonna say something, but I was just gonna say something about twerking. But do you like when guys twerk?
Some told me I have my finger ready on the trigger. Always an odd call from Brother Ed, man. Some told me once he said it was going to be odd. When he had to catch himself, I should have just hung it up there. Yes, and also Ed Honcho at Venmo if you want to hit the Venmo collection plate. So, we're talking about twerking. I know somebody said that the men like to twerking. To me, it's such a... It used to be appealing and attractive. No, not even necessarily attractive. It used to be appealing, but it's like, oh, look at that ass shake. Yes, I hung up. But now, it's just because everybody's doing it. It looks stupid. It's almost like clown dancing, and I don't find it interesting anymore. And so it's just like, look at that bitch, she's shaking her ass. That's cool, But yes, I realized, I'm just like, oh, anybody can do it. It may be a little bit more difficult for some than others. Sister thing, if you come to the confessional after the service, I can definitely guide you in the right direction. So there's that. Again though, love. What has happened to love? I think things have become cheapened. I think that people have substituted love for attention. And love and attention go hand in hand if you're getting attention from the one that you love. But nowadays, people will, they'll take any attention they can get and supplement it and think that attention is value. And there is a value to attention, But genuine love, the attention that you get from that, there's nothing else that it can even remotely compare. Okay? So all of this stuff is cool. You know, if you're doing it for your man and y'all are whatever else, maybe you putting on a striptease or something like that. Yes, pastor, preacher, father, rabbi, reverend, deacon, honcho knows about that. But bishop, you when you just doing it for everybody, like I tell y'all, back in the day when I was a young man, it used to be effort to try to get a woman to do something. Now, excuse me, you pull up your Twitter, you pull up your Instagram, you pull up your whatever, and there it is. You ain't even trying to see it. Ass all in your face. I don't even follow shit like that, and I'll be scrolling by ass and like, what the fuck? You know, I talk about ladies, their assets, and how you carry yourself and things like that. Even if you think it's innocent, I don't believe that women should. Now, if that's what you're putting out there about yourself, it's fine if that's what you want to do. But I don't believe that women should be posing, sticking their hip out, sticking their ass out. You know, if the ass is the first thing that is appreciate the love. T-Bolt, thank you for blessing the collection plate this evening. Shout out to T-Bolt, showing the love. But my thing is that if you, I guess you could say the depth of the photo, I don't know how it works, but if the first thing that you see from the depth of the photo is ass, if your ass is sticking out further than your face, then that's what you care about most. That's what you're promoting. And I don't think women nowadays realize, well, I think they probably do, but you know, maybe that's their best feature. Maybe it is what it is. But again, if you're promoting something sexual, don't be surprised when you realize that, you know, the gentleman is only in it for the sex. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got going here. Let's see. Call coming in and cutting out. Better not be playing on my line. I don't like when people play on my line. Heidi be looking at you, be following. Heidi looks like a follower looker. Your best feature is discernment. Let me see what's going on. Let me see. But yeah, you know, the thing about it is, again, like I said, a lot of people, they feel like their best features, the best way to get attention is by using bigger breasted women are going to wear, you know, more low cut cleavage and shit like that. Bigger bottomed, fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Anyway, interesting that Queen, I think, sung a version of that song. But you know, if that's what you're putting out there, then that's what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to. Don't open Twitter, Pody, if you don't follow, man. But Twitter is a sketchy place. Okay. You dated a straight male dancer. Yes, women do like men shaking the sugar free. So very interesting. Dancers. Like a dancer as in a Magic Mike, or a dancer like not backstage, I guess that'd be the same thing. A backup dancer. Because, yeah, oh man. I'm over here just trying to see what's going on in the sports world. The next thing you know, big crazy interracial orgy scene. But here's the deal, like I say. You know, the thing about it is you have to, no, I ain't blocked up. I saw you trying to call, but it's like, it says hang up call, and I saw like missed call, so it's saying that you hung up. But, hot chocolate, Mike. Oh, okay. So here's the thing about that though. To a woman, does a man that can dance translate to the bedroom in your opinion? You know? Oh, sugar tree. That's what it said. I thought it said sugar free. I wouldn't know. I need to wind up the chat. Hold on, let me. Oh yeah, yo, Jerry Key, look. I'm telling you, I listen to a little something. You used to have a game. Yeah, you used to have to go have the game and get pictures. Now you just what I'm saying. Yeah, you open up to anything. It's interesting. Sugar tree is a very interesting way of putting that. Why? I'm not gonna ask why you call it the sugar tree, but yeah, with the same thing. I mean, like, I don't know. It's a weird world we live in. Like, motherfuckers be out there trying to flex on the ground, on the shit. Like, niggas be trying to use that shit to get women, and that shit does not work. Thrones, Brother Broderick, what's the motherfucking deal? My confession is that I can flirt on social media, but all my skills goes away when you try to flirt in real life. It's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. Why do you feel that it changes, Alex? Is it the comfort zone that you're in? You got to realize this about women. Women are goofy. Women are no different than men, especially nowadays. That's what certain groups of people will tell you, other than the genitalia that they possess. So, and some other things, but we're speaking general terms. But as far as communication, now some of them you have to be careful with, but there's no real difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just do. I mean, what are you afraid of? You're afraid she's gonna slap you or something? Like, what is going on? I mean, you have no worries. Say what you feel. If it doesn't get the response that you want, well, who cares? On to the next. What I think young men these days need to be able to do is take an L. Okay, and that's what you guys got to understand. There's so many opportunities. It's been called getting wood forever, so you chatted the sugar tree. There's so many opportunities, man. Take that L. If it doesn't work out for you, try again. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the house of the den this evening?
About freaking time.
Brother D Love, what would you like to share with us? What would you like to share with us in the house of the den this evening?
Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to pray for me because I'm about to go and bomb T-Mobile. But other than that,
I didn't hear that. I will not be a cohort. No. Did T-Mobile give you some issues?
Oh yeah. Ain't nothing really major. I just can't call, text, do anything crazy at T-Mobile.
Oh, yeah, basically can't use the service you pay for. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Right. So yeah, I will be paying T-Mobile a visit. But no, don't worry, I'll behave myself. Maybe. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump this confession.
Okay.
So this happened my sophomore year in high school, right? And just let me know if I start cutting out and stuff. You can hear me, Honcho?
Mm-hmm. I think you cut out like as soon as you said that. Wow, that's crazy.
Hi there.
Hello? Oh, well. I think his confession is that he's a psychic. Because as soon as he said if it cuts out, and it cut out. But yes. So, again, talking about youngsters, you're able to think of what to say in real life. I have that safe space. Well, I mean, again, here's the deal. Like, even if you fuck it up, you can tweak it to your favor. Like, don't even trip. But like I say, again, like Miss Caitlin K, sister Caitlin is Caitlin Key. I'm sorry. Said women are very, very much so. They are very insecure because women are judged more so on their outward appearance, their outward look. And so I think they think a lot more about those things. I think with men, when they have to start bringing the internal to the external, that's where they start to fuck up. I guess when it comes to having conversation and all that other stuff. it's nothing. It's nothing to be worried about. Again, if a woman don't fuck with you because you say something goofy or whatever, then it wasn't meant to be. Because if it wasn't that time, or if it was something else, later on in the line, like, who cares? But yes, those L's are, they do hold more weight, because motherfuckers they'll try to go on the internet. This nigga told me, look at this and look at that. And, but who gives a fuck? Because again, when it all comes down to it, these are people's opinions. An opinion is nothing unless you allow it. Unless you allow it to mean something to you. Other than that, nobody give a shit. Don't let that shit stop you from doing what you do. Okay. This woman is happy, it's all good. Sounds like happy wife, happy life. That can be dangerous. Rather be goofy and a dork than boring just to make her laugh. But yeah, I mean, look, if you look, here's the thing. Shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? Understand me? Because what happens, especially on social media, is motherfuckers be doing all the this and that, and you Mr. Smooth online, and then you meet in person. It's like you're presenting two different people, and then you leave, you separate, and then you go back to online, you Mr. Smooth again. Like, you're selling two different perceptions of yourself, and it's not genuine. And so I think that'll fuck you up more so than, either be one way in particular, or work on your person-to-person conversation, whatever else it may be. I mean, get comfortable, talk to yourself in the mirror. Like, just get comfortable, whatever else it may be, whatever you need to do to gain that confidence, you must do it. All right. See my wife. Yes, these are facts. These are facts. Brother DeMarcus, glad you could join us this evening. Yeah, if you can make him laugh, you got a foot in the door. So definitely can account for that. What is going on here? Oh, Brother Roberts, I appreciate your donation to the collection plate. I just saw it. I just happened to look at the phone, so I appreciate that. Shout out to Brother Roberts. He has definitely blessed the collection plate this evening. So I am surprised. And a bit appalled that we have not had any deadline calls. Well, I know Brother Love was trying to, remember Mother Love, remember that show, Mother Love or whatever? But Brother D Love was trying to get in, but T-Mobile wouldn't let him fit in. And I know Miss Darko, she shared with us her take on love and how she found love. Shaq Kush, what's the deal, Brother Kush? What's the deal? Sensitive ass DeMarcus. Is that the name of the game? Look, all I'm saying is we talk about love, we talk about relationships, love and affection. Not love and infection. That's what happens if you go to Coachella. You know what I'm saying? Brother Rob, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm glad you could join us this evening for confessions. Love has dissipated, it's disappeared. Miss V brought out a very good point, because I'm not nervous to be. Look, your call will never be considered any more weird than Edman. Edman will always and forever. Edman gets the weirdest responses. Sometimes, I haven't seen Dr. Rabbit in a while, or Mr. Rabbit. I guess it's only been a day because I didn't do a stream yesterday. Sometimes Mr. Rabbit gets some peculiar responses, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. So, but talking about love, talking about how the world has changed, and she talked about terminology, she talked about music. If women stopped embracing music that used certain terms, shout out to Rob. When Rob came through, it made me think about standards. If women up their standards, right, as far as to what they would accept from the music, do you think that would change the music industry? If women stop listening, they say, you know what, we're not going to support any song that calls us bitch. We're not going to support any song that calls us hoe. So if some old song come on you in the club and the bitches and hoes song comes on, all the women walk off the dance floor. You know. That's all I'm saying. If women start boycotting the bullshit, do you think that would change the way that men operate? If women stopped if they stopped fucking with niggas who use that type of term, bitches and hoes, do you think that they would stop? Act up challenge. What is the act up challenge? Bad bitches look like I can't deal with no one with behavior issues. What is the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Already, D-Love, Brother Love has joined us again. What were you saying now? You said something about sophomore year in high school. All right, Chicago Love.
Who they are, whatever. But besides the point, this is back when Kick was popping. Are you familiar with the app Kick? You know, people used to use the text and stuff like that.
Kick. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's back when that was popping. So with it, you know, you create your name and your profile pic. So my profile pic, let's just say it wasn't me. I wasn't on my profile pic. Instead, it was it was a woman with a fat donkey. We're gonna say that. We're gonna say that. And she was in a very compromising position. That was my profile pic. That's back when I didn't really care about anything. So little did I know, because I thought it was just gonna be me and my peers using it and all that. I had sisters I was going to school with too, and you know they used it as well, but you know they wouldn't say nothing. So about a couple months later, I'm sitting at my granny's house. You know, I'm just on the phone texting, chilling, and then I get a message out of nowhere from my younger sister, and she tells me that I better change my picture because our parents might see that shit. So I changed it. Look, because I'm wondering like, how did she create a Kick and how did she find me? And you know, if she found me, then she already told me that my parents had found it as well. I created a Kick. So I changed that immediately, and you know, put a picture of myself or whatever it was. The point is, she bailed me out because she didn't have to say a word to me. Because eventually my parents did end up texting me and adding me and stuff like that. So that could have went south real quick.
Yes, definitely. So you know, how did you repay your debt to your sister?
Oh man, look, whenever I go on leave, you know, I take it to the store. I let her get a weave. I let her, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause this was years ago, but I mean, I owe her one big time because an incident similar to this happened that involved my other sister, and she was not so kind. But you know, I guess that's a story for another day. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely could have went out real quick. About you said you also wanted to talk about love. I mean,
Yes, love. What do you think has happened to love these days? Why don't people have love, show love, court? Why does it seem that women accept more insulting talk than loving, or more? They're not being courted. They're just kind of being almost forced into these relationships. They're just accepting lower standards from these gentlemen who approach them.
oh man, I mean, I think you gave a really good answer. When you gave the analogy about the music, about women embracing certain music that use certain terms, you know, and I just wanted to pick it back off of that, and you know, I think it's a lot of it has to do with the programming. society, the stuff we see on TV. I mean, I know there's a lot of people nowadays are materialistic, and I'm not gonna say all women are materialistic because I just ran into one of my coworkers when I went shopping about yesterday or 2 days ago, and they come up with his homeboy, and I try to go up dab him up. I mean, he dabbed up, but he started talking about my Nikes.
Hmm.
'Cause I was wearing black on gray,
Yeah.
and he's making a huge deal about what I'm wearing, and telling me how I should have wore black on black, which I do like. Black is my favorite color, but um, so yeah, I mean, guys can be pretty fucking materialistic as well. So I mean, I don't know. Love does seem a bit obsolete nowadays, and a lot of it could be because of the programming. Uh, yeah, that's what I guess. But what's your take on that, Hunter?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think a lot of factors play into it. A big factor, in my opinion, is again, like I said, the way that people are being raised, and so I think as generations go on, if the neglect for children, they're not being appreciated, they're not getting the appropriate attention at home, and so when they get subpar, parenting, they go on to have subpar relationships, and it just kind of continues down the line. They'll
Yeah, I
accept
think I
less,
think they have a lot to do with it too.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the I know that household how kids have been brought up in households plays a huge role in it because I think it takes two parents to teach a child like what real love is, and just having both parents in a household. I think that's a substantial benefit to growing up and teaching a child how to love and stuff. Not saying that each parent can't do it on their own, but it'd be a whole lot less convenient for it to happen like that. Yeah, I think that's my take on it, Hunter.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a bet there, Brother Love. I'm glad you called in and shared the story. Now, what you shared the story of with us is sibling love, because your sister could have left you out there hanging, but she gave you a heads up because she cared about you. And this is a
For
story
real,
of
for
love,
real.
and that is family, familial love. And I don't think we have enough of that these days. So thank you, Brother Love, for sharing that story with us in the House of the Den this evening.
I appreciate it, Hunter. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up, and I'm gonna give T-Mobile a call.
Okay.
But yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate the call. Shout out to Brother Love for sharing that with us, and shout out to Sister Love wherever she may be. All right, hey strangers, thank you for joining us this evening. But we're talking about standards, we're talking about love, and that's what I'm saying. And just before that call, we were talking about bad bitches, things like that. We're talking about vernacular, we're talking about words, and this is very important because no, she would definitely laugh. She would find this extremely amusing. She actually asked how to get to. I was like, hell no. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the House of the Den this evening? Professor Trio, how are you doing this evening, brother? Brother Trio, what would you like to share in the den this evening? No, really, already. So what's on your mind this evening? No, I was just asking, what's on your mind this evening, Professor Trio? Okay. Mm. 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 Do you think that love can be revitalized? Mm. 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 Oh man, hold on. Brother Dizzle, I must apologize. I
Ah,
must. I look into the book of Romans, and I believe that there is a passage in which I have placed upon you.
this motherfucker. The Book of Romans. Fuck out here with that. If it's the Book of Romans, it must be a short ass chapter, man. God damn.
Yes,
That motherfucker's a footnote.
yes. I hit you with the Roman, my brother. I apologize. If you would repeat what you said, that lust has replaced love, and love has gotten lost in the
Yeah.
fake shit, and your
Yeah,
commentary
love.
on if love could be revitalized.
No, I don't think so. The only way we could do it is if people would just have to start being honest about themselves. But in the world of social media and the internet, nobody's honest about anything. Everybody just rather perpetrate a falsehood.
Yeah.
So that shit going down the toilet. And I've said this before, and it's getting so bad to where people will have a public profile, but then make it private.
Yeah.
I still don't understand that. And then you put yourself out there for the whole world to see, and then when somebody comment on it, which is the whole point, you don't want to read it. You don't even pay it no attention. I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
I really don't. So, like, say for instance, like the internet is supposed to be a place where you can attain and do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do within just your area. You could do it on a global scale. And you can't do that a lot of the times because people are not willing to conversate with you just because you another internet motherfucker. Because they know how fake the internet is. So they don't want to speak to fake people, but yet they fake in the first place.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree.
I don't understand how the fuck is that supposed to work.
I agree.
You talking about me, or just using me as an example, you talking about I'm lying and you lying. So we both lying and we both know that we lying, and there's nothing we can do about it, or there's nothing we're gonna do about it.
Yeah. So as more social medias continue to pop up, as more people are trying to get you, especially I find that stuff in China very interesting. So you think it's all downhill, the fraudulence, as long as it is allowed to exist, that love will continue to lose.
Yeah, unless you start doing shit the old-fashioned way, like we used to, where you actually go out and meet people on the street. But now people are so fucking standoffish. You a creep if you try to.
Yeah.
The fucking Gillette commercial. You try to holler at the broad. No, bro, that's not cool. I wish a motherfucker would. Like, nigga, is you fucking the bitch? No, well, get the fuck out my face then.
Exactly. And again, like I said, yeah, they don't want you to do it the old-fashioned way. So how you think your daddy met your mama, nigga? You gonna talk about some, no, that ain't cool type shit.
Exactly. He had to holler at your mama. Straight like that.
Now, nigga met my mom off the chat line. They ain't had a damn internet. But you know, I agree, man. You know, the thing about it is, it's become that it's put this digital veil on us, and now we're allowed to put up what we want to be, what we would like to be. And for those of you who don't know, I'm not a real preacher. I don't know if y'all know that. It's just a costume, so I got to keep it 100 with y'all.
Yo, funky ass, you trying to hide the parking lot, you little bitch.
We got the people looking at you.
Motherfucker just turned his lights on. I know you ain't finna come for me.
Yeah. And so the thing is, it's crazy. You know, the anonymity, the fraudulence, all these things that they're allowed to get away with. And I do find it odd because, especially like, you know, you got a lot of motherfuckers who talk shit about you, but never show their face. This is why I say, like, the internet is funny to me. I really don't like arguing and beefing on the internet because it's not beef. It's just some commentary back and forth. Because the people and the shit that they say on the internet, they will never say to your face in real life. Never, ever. And so that's why I say, like, it's a joke. You have to understand the difference between the two. So it's like, you say all this shit on the internet, I don't really take it. I take it with a grain of salt because I know if we were to meet face to face, we'd be sitting in a room with a chair or whatever else it may be. You would never say these things, you know. And so,
Well, Honcho, that comes up to a certain extent because there still are real motherfuckers out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I'm one of them.
Yeah.
If I say some shit, I mean that.
Yeah. But you got to think
I'm not
99% of the people on the internet are not with the shit.
Yeah,
you just seen 1,000 videos. Huh?
True.
Yeah. But I say you see 1,000 videos of people talking all that shit, and somebody actually they come across that 1%, and then they running in the house. Yeah, I'm out here. They talking shit. And they put it on live for everybody to see, which is foolish. And then that random old dirty Cadillac pull up on their street. You know, and then fucking fishtail into their yard and shit. And next thing you know, they run in their house hollering for their mama and shit. But you know, the thing is though, you have to be about that action. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me personally, if you talking all this stuff and if it really, hey, well, then let's make something shake. Like, I'm not really with the talking and the arguing back and forth. That's why I really don't get into it. But, you know, and I'm not going to make idle threats and all these other things. Either we going to do something or we not. But the thing is, like you said, though, there's very few people who are willing to say what they're going to say. And I feel like if I'm going to put it out there on the internet, I'm going to tell you straight up, to your face, and then, you know, whatever consequences and situations come from that, well, then we'll deal with that as it goes. But like I say, you have a lot of people who they feel safe, like I say, they have that veil, and so they hide and they say all this shit, or they think they can do all this shit, you know, insult you and do all these things. And like you said, you have all the people with the filters and the things on their photos to make themselves look particular. I wasn't even shooting shots. I'm not even shooting shots. I'm not even shooting shots. Hey, if niggas want to be suspect, that's all them. I'm not worried about that. But I'm just saying, when people putting that shit on, because I see women that I know personally, people that I know personally, and it's like they can't even take a photo without a filter now, because there's actually this thing that they said, especially with Snapchat, that people won't take pictures anymore, won't post pictures anymore without using Snapchat, because those beautifying filters and shit like that, they look at their real pictures and they start thinking they ugly. Like, that shit has an impact on their self-esteem. This is the world that we're in. They've fallen out of love with their own real selves, that they'd rather make themselves look like cartoons or animals or whatever the fuck it is, because they don't even like themselves. Like, there's a study on that. Like, motherfuckers cannot take pictures without Snapchat filters because they don't even like themselves. That's
crazy.
That's super crazy. Yeah, I don't get it. I can't comprehend though. But
now,
you know.
also, I'd also like to make this distinction too, because I do understand that. Don't be no crash dummy. Like, you can't get into it with somebody on the internet and then meet them and then just do something stupid.
Yeah.
Now, the era I'm from, I you know what I'm saying, I grew up off a pimp.
Yeah.
The pimp say like this, and I feel the same way. Look, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and a fight come with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's real shit, according to me. But I emphasize the word fight, which means at the end of the day, I'll go home and you'll go to the hospital. But you gonna live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want to kill a motherfucker. No.
But they're the same
Because
thing.
these motherfuckers losing a video game and literally pulling up to somebody's house and blowing their brains out.
Yeah,
Like,
don't.
come on, man.
And then the motherfuckers don't want to fight anymore. And I blame that on the feminization, because niggas don't want to fight. They don't, you know, ever get into a scuffle. They don't ever, you know, take you some L's. You're going to get some L's, you're going to get some wins. You know what I'm saying? And you grow from that. You grow from them L's. You celebrate your little wins and you keep moving on. But now, because I think
So who
that
do you think is responsible for the effeminization?
Oh man, it's all over the place. I think, you know, again, I talk about a lot of these dominantly female homes, but at the same time, if you're a man and you've had a kid, that's your responsibility to be a part of that kid's life, regardless of whatever the mama's putting you through. Even if she's making it hard for you, you're gonna have to overcome those hardships to have access to your child. I saw something, and I meant to do, like I said, I'm starting to drop some more videos this week. But in China, they have what they call an alpha male club, right? Because there's so many motherfuckers nowadays that love that K-pop shit, that love that Chinese, that Korean, whatever that shit is, that weird shit. And those guys are really feminine looking. Like China says, no,
Ah.
we not finna have that. Like, so they starting what they call alpha male clubs and getting these young niggas out there running in the cold with their shirts off. They got them working out in the park, and these groups of them, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Basically, the American version of toxic masculinity, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But instead, it's it's some weird shit going on. And they interview the dude. He's like, well, just because I like putting on makeup doesn't mean I'm not masculine in my heart. Yeah, that pretty much is what that is saying. You know what I'm saying? But the K-pop shit is like spreading. It's like, I think somebody was talking about some K-pop, talking about the Korean chicks who do K-pop, that they don't twerk. Well, first you gotta have a little ass to twerk. No shade, but let's just be honest. We know what's going on. You know, the rice don't make the booty nice. But my thing is, it's like, it's spread, but other countries, they're like, nah, we ain't with that shit. If y'all may like that, y'all may think it's cool, we not with that shit. But over here, if you say, man, I don't think that's what's up. I don't think that's ideal for the future of the American population. You're toxic, you a homophobe, you're a transphobic, you are everything. You know what I'm saying? You are everything negative. But again, at this point, fucking embrace those titles. If because I disagree with what something's happening, I'll be like, I'm not afraid of none of these motherfuckers. I just don't agree with them because now people don't want you to have opinion. If you don't agree with them, you're a Nazi, you're a homophobe, you're a transphobe, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a
coon.
A coon, yes, the coon. That's the greatest one. I got called a fake ass hotep the other day. So that's a new one. That's the first. So definitely, I could definitely add that to my resume.
That's hard to believe because you an even killed motherfucker, Honcho. You real even killed.
Yeah, I got called a fake ass hotep the other day. So, like I say, if you just don't agree all the way with somebody, then they're gonna find a way to I guess, justify their beliefs on you. Well, it's because he must be. Look, I'm not none of that shit. I really don't identify with any particular group. I see things over here that make sense to me. I see things over here that make sense to me. But all in all, I try to be independent minded. But it's just certain shit that I just can't agree with, man. Because I mean, factually, it just doesn't make sense.
I think what it is everybody's heart is on this 720 no scope shit. They sensitivity too high. All the way on 10. That's doing too much.
Straight up. Yes, Miss Keisha, I did say that the rice don't make the booty nice. Now, if you throw some beans on the scene, then the booty is serene. Anyway, But you know, but I agree. Is everybody's gotten too sensitive. Nobody wants to hear anybody tell them anything different. And it goes back to what I was saying about why people have gotten effeminate, why people have gotten soft, is because they're so used to their mom or their parents catering to everything they do, say, or they just started crying. Well, here, let me give you this, let me do this, so you just stop crying instead of fixing the fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Instead of fixing the situation so you don't have to continue to deal with this 10, 15 years down the road. We're going to nip this in the bud right now while you 4, 5, 6 years old. And I'll never have to deal with this problem again. But if I candy coat it by literally giving you candy or giving you some other bullshit, then, you know, well, next time you had this problem, I'm going to have to alleviate. I'm going to continue to alleviate the same way. It never gets resolved. And then the parents sitting here talking about, well, why is this happening? I don't understand. Yeah, the fuck you fucking understand, because you ain't ever do shit about it. Like, you never fixed the issue. You encouraged the issue. You rewarded the issue. And so that's why that was their go-to move. So, you know, like I said, it is what it is. A lot of it is this new American mentality. It's a lot of it it's just a lot of stuff I just can't comprehend and understand. So, you know, I don't know. But I agree with you, man. It's just, a lot of it is this internet. Again, because then you also get into those echo chambers that reiterate what makes you feel good, that reiterates what you want to believe. And, you know, people don't like it. Just people don't like it. They you know, you this, you that, you the third, because you don't wholeheartedly. You could agree with 98% of what somebody says, and then that little 2%. Well, except for this part, I think you're you're this, you're that. It's like, come on, goddamn, you know, motherfuckers cannot handle a differing opinion, and they lose their fucking shit, you know. But it is what it is.
The internet is a double-edged sword, because in the internet, you can find anything you want. But the problem is you can find anything you want. You can find what you're looking for if that's what you're looking for.
Exactly.
So it just depends on your motive. You know what I'm saying? And Honcho, a lot of the difference is what I was talking about, the sensitivity on 10. I know I'm not a sensitive dude. I deal with logic. So even if you think differently than me, I want to understand the logic to why you think the way that you do. So even when we do disagree, it's nothing personal because I understand why you think like that. I'm like, okay, you know what? I see that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I get criticized for taking both sides of the argument. I see the logic from that other side, and I make those points where, okay, I understand this part, but can you fill in the rest of it? See, I'm always in the search and the pursuit of knowledge. That's why I listen to a lot of y'all, because a lot of y'all have taught me a lot. Like Prepaid, that nigga gave nothing but game. You know what I'm talking about? And a few others. I'm sorry, I can't think of y'all name right now, but you know, Broderick, me and him, we probably he like the anti-Jay Dizzle. If it had to be anybody, it would be Broderick, because me and him seem to disagree on more than quite a few things. But that's all right. I don't take it personal. I was still kicking with Broderick just so we could just talk the shit out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no personal feelings, and I know it's the same way coming from him too. So if more, I ain't gonna say everybody, because I mean, come on now. If more people thought like that or just handle stuff like that, man, the world we'd be so much further ahead. You know what I'm saying? Instead of at the drop of a hat, somebody make a statement and you just losing your mind. Okay, if that's how you feel, explain why you feel that way. Let me hear your logic behind it. But no, they just hear that one thing and then shut their whole brain down. And that's a problem.
Exactly. And most of those people, they respond. Even if they do respond, it's not going to be anything logical. It's going to be, well, I feel, well, I think. It's never something fact-based. I feel this. This makes me feel like, or I feel that this could be something, or this could be. It's like, but that just because you feel that way, that's not on a factual basis. There's no factual foundation of what you're saying. You know, if you come
tell me how you feel, tell me what you know.
Exactly. But you got a lot of motherfuckers out there who don't want to do that. They just want to, well, it doesn't make me feel good, so it can't be right. That's where we're at these days.
And I'm gonna use Kanye as an example. Because I thought about this, and I had discussed it with a few of my family members, including my brother, because he just thought that it was the dumbest shit he ever said when he made the slavery was a choice comment. And I listened to that shit on face value. I'm like, okay, that shit sound dumb. But me, I'm the type of person, okay, let me see if I can make sense of this shit. So why this motherfucker would say this? Because it doesn't sound good. And so then I thought about it. I said, well, their choice was either to go to a land and be service to a bunch of motherfuckers that they don't know or like, or they could jump their ass in the motherfucking ocean and end their life. And then I'm like, that's a fucked up choice. And I'm thinking, I'm like, well, you know what? That's gangster for you just to go ahead and take yourself out, because fuck living that life of servitude. But then I thought about it. I'm like, that's kind of cowardly too. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, because what's more brave than to stick that shit out and survive through it anyway?
Exactly.
It just depends on how you want to look at it.
And that's what people want to get. And I agree with you. People want to look at it like, because people, again, that's what I was talking about the other day. It's not always going to be good choice, bad choice. Sometimes it's going to be bad choice, terrible choice. Sometimes it's going to be good choice, great choice. And that was a situation.
Contrary to popular opinion, Donald Trump and Mrs. Clinton. There you go. That's how I feel. Y'all may disagree. That's how I feel.
But yeah, you know. But my thing is that it's tough, and so I get where he was saying what he said. It wasn't something you want to hear. It's not something that's a pleasant decision, but it was true what he said. You know, and then everybody.
It also depends on how you say it. I think that's Kanye's biggest problem. He doesn't know how to convey what it is he's thinking. And you want to know who told me that? T.I. I bet you would have never thought that name would have been the one that came out. That's what Tip said, because Tip, before he did any of that shit, he called Kanye. Talked to him on the phone and then met up with him, and then they talked to each other in person. And T.I. understood, well, you know what? He just didn't convey the message right. He said, I understand what it is you're saying, but do you hear how you sound?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but people taking it not how I meant to take it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to use your words, Kanye.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing
point.
with Kanye is that he doesn't realize when he talks about genius and all this other stuff. Well, if you're a genius and you got to realize people aren't going to think, they're not going to interpret things the same way that you see them, and that's his problem. So I agree. Yes, definitely the way you word things is wording is a motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
That's why, in my opinion, when he went to the White House, he should have brought someone with him that knew how to take what it was he was saying and take the way it looks, the optical part out of it, and then give you just the facts.
Yeah.
It's just like taking, I don't know, I can't think of an analogy. That's fucked up. That's weird for me not to have an analogy on deck, but yeah, because I mean, some of the shit he said, it didn't sound right, but you had to really think about it and break it down, which most people aren't going to do.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
But yeah, but like I say, but if you listen to that whole conversation open with an open mind and really just listen without leaning, he said some shit. Kanye said some real. Like I still will not get over that fucking. I won't get over like that. The thing that stuck with me most, and I talk about it all the time, is if you don't have land, you settle for a brand. And when he said that shit, I've been looking at shit so much differently at how niggas act when it comes to shit like that, and it's true. That's why niggas willing to kill you for stepping on their fucking shoe and doing all that other stuff because they care about this brand so much because this is the best thing that they own. They care about this vehicle so much that this is the best thing that they own. You know, and that's a tough spot to be in, man. And that's a tough place to be in. But like I say, Kanye is way more intelligent than people want to give him credit for. But like you said about how he conveys the message is where we fall into the problem.
There it is.
Indians fought against 45s and rifles with bows and arrows. It was a bad choice, but it was a choice. Yeah, this is true. It was a bad decision, but hey, you know, it's a choice that they made. All right, D-Love, appreciate it. But yeah, man. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that, Brother Dizzle?
Nah, that's pretty much all I have for right now. Which I got to get off because I got to get some decent in this motherfucker. This motherfucker about to run dry, man.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, that's the bet, man.
No, because this motherfucker does not prime itself. I'll be stuck.
Ooh, yeah. Well, that's a bet, man. Appreciate your call.
All right, Chief.
Already.
All right.
Shout out to Brother Dizzle for the call. So, here is the dealio. We got a few more minutes to go, you know. And good night, Miss Keisha. Use your discernment. My thing though is this. You have to, I don't think people want to give, like, because we live in this day and age of immediate gratification, immediate satisfaction. So when somebody says something that we don't immediately comprehend, you say Indians fought against syphilis and gonorrhea, that sounds like Coachella. Indians, was it Coachella? The thing is, you got to realize nobody knows everything. And what applies for a certain group of people isn't going to apply across the board. So, me personally, I try to look at what makes sense. And again, does this even make sense? Because I think about it. Should you look at life from a perspective of what makes the most sense for you personally, or what benefits society as a whole? And if society as a whole benefits, do those benefits trickle down to you? That's a good one, Heidi. That may be one of your top 5. You know, how should you approach these things? How should we be looking at it? Most people can't even fight to the death. They submit hopes of the future. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Adam Smith, that's the most generic name I've ever heard in my entire life, Heidi. Sounds like it would be boring to listen to. Nah, but I will look into it. You had put me on somebody else the other day, and I was actually listening to some of their shit. The economists always get it right. But here's my thing, man. Here's the thing. First, I like the preacher thing. I may do this from time to time on Sundays. I enjoy this unit. May come up with some other ideas for certain topics. So I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna be dropping a video tomorrow. And if you have not seen Avengers, you might not want to watch it. It may be one or two little spoilers in it, but I won't ruin the entire movie. But there was a message in this movie that I think it went over most people's heads. For the record, the movie was okay. All right. I've seen a lot of people say that it was greater than I like. I'm not disagreeing with them. Maybe they were more into it than I was. But I went and saw the bitch with the 3D and all that good shit. To me, the movie was okay. Wasn't great. Wasn't all that. Wasn't nothing super special. You know what I'm saying? But there was a message. It was special. It was a good, I mean, they brought it all together, I guess, in a sense. But, oh, word, I can do that? So you can do that. So my thing is this. It's long, but once it gets going, I mean, you don't really realize that it's as long as it is. Again, they keep you entertained. It's fine. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything. But it's an entertaining movie. Again, I don't know how much. I guess because it brought everybody's story together. You know, kind of like the first one, the first part of it. Infinity War or whatever. So I guess because it brought it's what made it great, because you see all the characters you love in a movie. Something like that premise. But as far as it was okay. I didn't get the vibe personally, because what I wanted to happen didn't happen. So maybe just because the way I look at shit, it's thrown off. But it's a cool movie. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just I don't know, man. Maybe sometimes I'm cold blooded. Maybe I'm lacking the emotion or whatever. But there's just certain things that I'm just like, I guess maybe because I was stuffing my face with fucking fries and pulled pork. I violated. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. The last 2 days, I have violated my calorie count. Like bad. Like bad. Like 300 to 400 calories bad. But it's all good. Like, I think I'm still in a deficit for the week, but I was fucking it up. But, yeah, I was in that bitch. We went to the fucking theater where you could eat and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I had this fucking pulled pork sandwich was good. And bitch, I don't even fuck with pork like that on the cool. Like, I really don't. But I had tried like a bunch of everything, almost everything else there. Had some spinach, artichoke, fucking dip. Something like spinach, queso dip, whatever the fuck that shit was. I had some of that shit. I fucked that up. Then I ate something else. The little fries was good. And I definitely fucked it up today because I just been on a bad streak. Coachella.com. But here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. We're gonna get ready to wind it down. Okay? And I'm gonna shout out to D Love. D Love came through with the confession. Let me double check. Yes. D Love or Edman called with a confession, but Yeah, I mean, if it's a real deal, then, you know, support the head man on what he's trying to do. So, again, you know, but D-loving head man, I'm sad. I'm sad that I didn't come through the congregation. Let me get my book. The congregation, and again, for all y'all who are just catching in, it ain't no Bible, it's Think and Grow Rich. It's a great book, right? The congregation of the den didn't even want to call in. All I'm saying is I appreciate you for staying. Can I get an amen? But we'll be back at it tomorrow. But what I'm saying about the Avengers movie is I'm going to be dropping a video tomorrow. So if you hadn't seen it, it really won't be a spoiler. It will be a particular line from that movie is what I took away from this movie in its entirety. This one line that was slid in there, like, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Okay? I always root for the bad guy. Don't know why. I always root for the bad guy. But there was a particular line in this movie, and I'm dedicating it. I don't know who I'm dedicating it to, but it stood out to me. And I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to drop a video pretty early about it. But I thank you, the congregation of the House of the Den. Put him down. And so I appreciate you all. Brother Baptiste, what's the motherfucking deal? So I appreciate you all. Look. Don't always. The majority of the time. It depends on what kind of damn movie. Exactly. Razor Ramon was like one of my favorite fucking wrestlers. You don't know Chico. But I appreciate you, the congregation of the House of the Den. We will be back at it tomorrow at the appropriate time, the appropriate place. Appropriate time, appropriate place. And Jamal Roberts says I should play Amazing Grace. But with that being said, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who has blessed the collection plate this evening. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I may get on the mixer for just a bit, but it'll take a few minutes because I got to get out this shit. And so if you want to slide through with the mixer crew, I might be on about an hour or two. But with that being said, hey Jack, Honcho, or mixer.com/Honcho Saucy. I'll be on there probably about, what time is it right now? It's already 10:06, maybe about 10:15, 10:20ish. I'll be there. So if you want to come through, feel free. We will chop it up. But I appreciate you for coming through. Hey, look, you ain't got to go home. But if you do and your significant other asks where you've been, you can tell them you've been in the House of the Den, even though you done been with your other lady friend. Don't you be lying to your significant other, goddamn. Hey, hit that like button. It counts just as much. And I appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. And I appreciate all of y'all. With that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all ain't got to go home. But y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. What y'all still doing? Y'all still in the den? Well, make sure you lock the door when you leave. You know we're in a bad neighborhood and there's a lot of thieves. Try to come through, they steal a church pew. You know how they do. But with that being said, I'm out.